Hi guys, welcome to this next video. We've got Sam Griffiths now talking about his track that he's done for this Vital Bass Box preset pack. Very excited to have you here, Sam.
Very excited to be here. Thank you
Yeah,
for asking me to be part of this.
yeah, no problem. Shall we start off? What was your inspiration for this track, other than the preset pack? What were you thinking was going to be
Okay.
like the direction that you were going to go in?
Well, you asked me to write a sort of 1 minute ish piece as a trailer for the pack, so I thought let's go for a trailer style thing, and as that's what I tend to do anyway, that kind of informed very much the direction of what I ended up going for. Thinking of something that builds and grows, utilizing all the sounds. And the first thing I did is I dived in straight into the pack and just played through each patch just to have a listen, what they sounded like, and kind of made mental notes of, oh, that'd be useful for this. I played it both down low and up high to hear how that could change sort of the timbre and how it might work. That kind of informed me of where I might go with the track.
Oh, brilliant! Oh, I'm really excited to hear it again. Do you want to play it and then we'll have a chat about it? Cool. I like that the Brahm there as well. You've really used the filter to its full capacity.
Yes, absolutely. On that, that was one of the first sounds that sort of inspired this, and the back end of this track is pretty much based around just that patch with a few extra bits to complement it. And I played it big, and I thought this would sound great growing, so we used the filter,
Yeah.
pulled it down on all the top end off, and then pulled it back up slowly so it grows over time. Then also the Brahm is used higher up, which gets rid of the kind of grittiness to it earlier on in the track. This kind of descending ambient part more than anything, like a background ambient patch that you don't really notice until it comes in again with the second octave here. So this is octave 1, this is octave 2, and then here's it really pushed down to like the low octaves.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's really, really cool. One thing I really liked, so like, the Brahm was the inspiration for me as well, to be fair. That was that, and there's one called Jeff Odyssey, and
Yes.
I was very much going for that like early 80s, late 70s kind of synth sound there. So I knew I was going to use that, but the Brahm was like the next thing. I was like, "Ooh, I need to get the Brahm in." I was like, "It's a trailer; it needs the Brahm," kind of thing.
It's a bit of a cliche, but absolutely.
Yeah, and I think I tried to make the Brahm as big as I possibly could when I was programming it, because then I knew that it's quite easy. You'll know this as well, just from Brahms in general. But if you've got quite even like a medium-sized Brahm, as soon as you get to a certain point in the track, that Brahm can't be used anymore unless you duplicate the track, put a load of more saturation on it, and add like bit crushing and other things. Whereas if you've got a really big Brahm, you can just use a filter and then and a little bit of EQ to bring that sound back. And even, as you were saying, play it a little bit higher. You can even bounce that out then, can't you? And then put it the octave lower, which takes out that grittiness, as you were saying. So yeah, that's really interesting that you gravitated to that as well. What is the high? You've got like this high drone thing, haven't you? As well, I really like that sound. Which
There's
patch
a
did you use for that?
there's a few sort of high drones in this. There's this one.
Cool.
Which is the bass patch put through a shimmer verb, and pretty much all of these patches are fairly dry, other than maybe the odd bit of reverb and a little bit of EQ sort of stuff. But there's no real, extra production magic on them. So that's one. There's another one which is the synthwave arc attack, which I can't remember whether it's dry. Again, that's just dry, but through I think a form of shimmer verb, but like a different preset there.
And I remember you saying with the ARP attack that you've taken the ARP off it because you just like the pluck sound.
Yes, that one in particular, yes. And then there was another one. It was this one, synthwave ARP attack. I used that down the octave without the pulsing. To create just like higher octave.
That's cool.
And just to get kind of more of a full bass patch sound towards the end, because it was already sort of fairly full at the start, but kind of really beefing it up towards the middle of the piece.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, just to kind of explain how you did that then. So you've gone in there, you've just gone to the LFO, you've left click the LFO, and then you've just taken the LFO off what it was assigned to.
Remove the assignations or whatever it's called.
So that's quite an easy thing to do, and I'll probably do a video on how to do that within Vital in the future. So that's really cool. Are there any noteworthy things that you used? Obviously, you've used some hits and stuff and booms, etc., just from stuff that you've already had, right?
Those are all sort of my own personal things that I've made in the past. But I mean, like you could use any like pack of booms and swish hits and things if you own like Keep Forest stuff or something like that. But these are just out my sort of personal library that I've made for myself that I bring into most of my things. But other than the strings and the percussion, this is 100% just your preset pack.
Oh, excellent. That's cool. That's really cool. Yeah, and the thing the thing I wanted to emphasize as well about your track in particular and my track is that there's not a lot of instruments I've noticed in yours as well. I think there's a stigma, isn't there, in the music industry, especially like in like these kind of trailer pieces, that like more is more.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but actually to get a big sound, actually it's just about the chosen sounds that you use.
Absolutely. If you get too many layers and too many things going on, it becomes messy and therefore sounds smaller. So obviously layering is very important within this sort of style. And there's little bits of layering here, for example, the bass here. But the majority of it is just good sound selection and clean, tight part writing and making sure that there's not too many overlapping things, and it will sound bigger than if you've got 100 tracks and they're all trying to do separate things. I mean, like there's definitely times when 100 tracks could be useful. I've definitely reached that in the past. You don't have to get that to get the size.
Definitely, and often those sounds that you're making, even though because you're layering, and we were speaking about this, weren't we, over the weekend, about like I think you said something great, which was like it's only a music production when like two wrongs can make a right. I think you said, didn't you? Which is amazing.
If you take two horrible sounds and put them together, make it sound great.
I think
on their own they sound awful. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I might have to put that on a t-shirt because that's incredible. Like only in music production can two wrongs make a right.
I'll be after half the wrong.
Yeah. You'll get
you can have that one.
Who were we talking about? We were talking about Billie Eilish's stuff, weren't we, with a brother? On that like kind of thought process then, can you solo the two Aquamans that you've got there? Because they're basically doing what we're talking about. Aren't they? Where you've added a certain amount of processing to them or done similar things, and it's just one's reinforcing the other, isn't it?
So that one's got literally nothing on it. This one's got EQ on it and a reverb on it, and that's pretty much it. So this one's just clean, nothing on it. Absolutely nothing on it. And then this one if we go into the automation, you'll see I've got just a standard stock Logic EQ, and I've just got the filter opening up for it.
Yeah.
So it starts off. So that's exactly an example of what we were talking about. That on its own sounds weird, especially when it jumps down the octave here.
Yeah.
But layered in with the other one here. Now I'll put this in. Because it's as a gritty thing, it actually doesn't have much bass, even though it's acting as a bass part.
Yeah.
But you layer it with the thicker, fuller, cleaner bass, and it adds that extra harmonics on the top.
Yeah, really, really cool. And then is there anything, with these Brahms at the end, we spoke briefly about that at the start, but in this last section, is there anything that you feel you did that's...
Again, I think it's playing with the filter. I bounced them down so I could cut off the reverb tails off it without... Yeah. You can do that without bouncing it, but I did it just because it's easy to clean up very quickly that way, and it just makes things quicker to do that. Pretty much that's it. There's like the string ostinato going, which if you have a look at the string ostinato, there's literally nothing to it, just C's. Then you've got the like ARP attack, which is just again on one note, it's on C, and that's like going dun 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 dun. Other than that, it's just a riser and a few hits.
Yeah.
So really, the Bram is the only thing really interesting there in that section. Without it, it would be really boring.
So what are you using the respace at the bottom for then? Is that just just for the bass line?
That's actually a riser. I've made a riser.
Is it? I wouldn't have used it. I would never have thought.
So it literally, I've just got the one note rising, and I've got a pitch shifter on it that kind of pushes it up, like up an octave, I think it goes, and it comes up from literally infinite dB minus, so like silence, and just gets up in the mix over time, just to sort of again creep in slowly as an extra layer. And that's that respace riser, but it played really high up the keyboard, so it's not as you would predict a bass patch to be used. But that's kind of the point of these. They're not just bass patches; they work really well as bass patches, but you can use them as leads, as rises, as pads, as anything really.
Yeah, I think that's the point with anything that you make in a synth as well, isn't it? So like you might have an intended purpose that you create a specific patch to sound like, but it's always great to keep it in mind for something else, because it literally, you can just change them into anything, can't you?
Absolutely.
Just depends on the type of note, doesn't it? But that's brilliant. Thank you so much, mate, for going through this. Hopefully we'll see you in a few more videos in the future where you can give us some more insights and knowledge to how you work. We all work differently, don't we? And I'm sure loads of people watching this will find a lot of value from what you've done. Even just, I think the cool thing for me was just the respace, I think, I'm glad I asked about it, because I was like, oh, the respace is there, but I don't hear the wub wub. So, all right, well, we'll end it there anyway. And, speak to you soon. Yeah,
absolutely. Thank you for having me on your YouTube channel.
Yeah, and thank you everybody as well for coming and joining in on this this little mini interview, I guess it was, about this overview of the track. Yeah, if you're not already subscribed, please subscribe. A big thank you as well to my patrons. You all rock. You make this stuff happen. And we'll see you again in the next video. If you're not as well in the Discord, please join. There's lots of things going on in there all the time. See you later. Bye-bye.